This is 4TW Live, recorded January 2nd, 2015. Episode 11, 2014 and beyond. Welcome to 4TW Live, take 2. Yeah, idiot me wasn't recording last time with audio.
Boo.
Oops. Anyway,
way to start off the new year, jackass.
Yes, way to start off a new year. But the good news is we are back for 2015. Yes, after our much long and belated hiatus, an extended hiatus, we are back. So to discuss the end of the year 2014 and what we're looking forward to in 2015 as well. So, what are you guys looking forward to?
Chris, you take it first.
You know, honestly, my main thing would be a couple things. You know, first, personal related, losing some weight. That's my big thing. Also, on a personal level, getting my own place. And the other thing, as far as the show goes, helping the show get better. And 4TW, as far as shut your goddamn mouth.
Wearing goofy hats.
Wearing goofy hat. Listen, it's comfortable, and I'm running with it. So
where'd you get it at? Because now I want one.
My parents got it when they went to Wyoming.
He moved to North Dakota. He moved to Fargo, and you didn't get the memo.
Well,
you know, Minnesota now, eh?
Yeah, the main thing I'm looking forward to also maybe start doing some vlog type stuff and kind of adding some more content to our network. And as far as entertainment purposes, I'm looking forward to the, I guess a lot of things, comics, TV shows, movies. It's a big year for movies, obviously with Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Jurassic World, and, we'll talk about that on Sell to Film.
Fuck Star Wars. I mean, I think
Star Wars to finish off the year.
I mean, I'm just saying.
And that's going to cap off 2015, just think. So that's going to be like, you'll have all these epic movies, and then right at the end of the year, Star Wars.
Yeah, it's no 1982,
but, I guess we can get into this maybe in a different discussion, but, I'd like to hear your guys' opinion on if you think it'll be, do you think that Star Wars is going to be like
next week? We're going to go over. Next week we're going to do an episode on movies coming up next year.
All right.
Are we going to talk about that on? Yeah, I guess
next
we can
week.
talk about that
because that's a long drawn out topic.
Yes, it is.
So, Mario, what are you looking forward to, sir? Anything new? Anything old?
Myself included with Chris on a couple personal things too. Yeah, gotta lose some weight myself. Not in the best shape. Definitely needing to, better myself health wise. I do want to last a little more than what I'm projecting now. So that's definitely one big thing on my mind now. Secondly, I guess tech, man. I'm really hoping 2015 will shape out better for the gaming industry. That's one thing. 2014 was in my opinion a very drought year. If we all thought the Wii U was bad in 2012, boy was it bad in 2014 for some reason.
No, the Wii U.
Oh no! In terms of relating it to like the Wii U's drought,
we'll get into that. But I think Wii U is the one success story of the year.
Oh no, and I've got my stuff written for that. Other stuff, movies, yes. Comic books, I definitely agree. I mean, now I'm actually rereading them again, finally getting back in the mold a little bit, little by little. So I just can't wait to just get some suggestions from Chris and
don't worry,
go for it.
This year, well, I'll talk about it when we get to that segment about comics in 2015. But let's just say this year's a good year to start picking up because they're kind of rebooting. Yeah. And doing a lot of the revamping and kind of going different directions. So it's a good time to kind of, I'm not saying they're retconning necessarily, but there is a little bit of retconning and then a whole lot of new stuff being started. So this is a good year to invest in comics.
Sounds good. But yeah, besides all that, technology, well, give us not 8-core processors on our cell phones because we need it.
Yeah,
we
need multi-core processors in our cell phones.
Well, let's get started, shall we? Let's start off with the big topic.
What about you, Matt? You didn't say what you were looking for.
Me? Losing weight and that's about it. going
college,
back to
right?
school. Yeah, I'm going
Fine.
back to school and get my bachelor's degree. Yeah.
Oh heck yeah, man!
And I
sir.
might be
Good
doing the same
job.
thing too, because I need to.
I
Well, I
maybe
am
start,
going back to
better
school.
job.
I
that'd
got
be next.
registered and everything, so I start in February.
Mine would be probably somewhere in 2016, not this year.
Damn,
Yeah.
my face looks puffy.
Yeah, it's
I
probably
gained
what
weight
I'll be
since the
doing
last
too.
show.
Probably be next year.
Anyways. All right, so let's get started. Gaming!
Yeah.
Gaming! Roar! Gaming! Roar! By the way, I really want to bring Geek Rage back. I loved that show, and we did that a couple times. Gaming for 2014 was maybe a meh year, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Good year, meh year, bad year, great year? What was it?
It was a really meh year, unfortunately.
I mean, we had the usual run of titles. We had the annual Call of Duty game and the annual Madden, and but I don't think we had any real defining games in my mind like we've had, with BioShock Infinite or Arkham City or Arkham Asylum or even Last of Us. We haven't had anything that made you say, I need to be a gamer again. I mean, we've had some good titles. Bayonetta 2 was rather hailed, and I think that's probably in my mind, the best game of the year.
Action game of the year, and it was also nominated Best Wii U exclusive.
What else would be the best Wii U exclusive other than Smash Brothers? But it probably was Smash Brothers. But I mean, I was not that impressed with games this year, mainly because, I mean, just nothing struck me. What do you guys think? Am I wrong?
Well,
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There was a lot of upsets. I've noticed on a lot of different sites they were talking about how they talked about more upsets than anything. For example, Watch Dogs being one of the biggest upsets, along with a lot of people even thought Destiny was even kind of an upset because they blowed it up so much. And yeah, there's a lot of following behind it, but the way they blew up the image of it and made it seem like it was going to be this great revolutionary thing, it didn't come through fully for most people, and that was considered one of the big upsets.
Would you say that 2014 is the year of the disappointment?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Because we had a lot of titles.
The next-gen systems came out at the end of 2013, so we were expecting 2014 was going to be that year for all those titles on the new next-gen systems. You're going to see all this new shit, and unfortunately, it didn't come through at all. Not even close.
Would you mind if I guys ask the question really quick? How in the bloody hell, and I'm sorry for using that, but how in the bloody hell is the PlayStation? How in the bloody hell is the PS4 still selling like it's going out of style in a drought this bad?
Fanboys.
No.
Even with loyal fanboys, you couldn't get it to sell this much.
I don't even know why, to be honest.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why.
And I think I know what it could be, but let me hear you, man.
Okay. Microsoft screwed the pooch early on, and they've never, in my mind, been able to recover that damage that they did in prior to them changing their stance on DCMA. Or on
DRM?
DRM, sorry.
Yeah.
Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Yeah. It has to do with that. But anyways, they had a lot of policies no one agreed with, and also they came out a lot more expensive than the PS4. The PS4 is cheaper. In fact, Microsoft just announced they're changing they're getting rid of the discount. They're going back to the original sticker price. And the Xbox also has technical problems, and most gamers know that the games do not render at full 1080p at 60 frames for the most part. They render at 920 somewhere around there.
900. They've kind of been using
980. Yeah, it's like 900 in the 900s. Yeah, so the PS4 can do 1080p with marginal no problems, but the Microsoft did what Sony did last time, and we talked about this before. Yeah. They relied on their name to carry them, but they failed. And Microsoft Sony realized their mistake, and I'll give Sony credit somewhat. They realized they made a mistake with the PS3 launch, and they did their damnedest to make sure they did not repeat. Because they released it at a high price tag, they figured the fanboys would buy it, and guess what? It failed. They are not Nintendo. Nintendo fanboys will buy no matter what. But, they're the Nintendo loyalists. They are like an Apple-like cult. I am one of them, so I can talk shit. But, in my mind, the PlayStation 4 doesn't have that stigma that the One has, Xbox One. But, and also, the store, they probably shouldn't be doing this. But the game store, people at the game stores also are saying PS4.
Yeah, they I did notice that at GameStop, at Best Buy. They really do push.
I don't know about Best Buy. I don't go there.
But I will say this. I've actually tested out both Xbox One and PS4.
I own them.
Yeah, I've. You actually own them. Oh, okay.
Both?
Yeah. Oh, no. But hey, I want to hear you first, Chris. Definitely.
You own both?
Here's my.
I might explain how it all occurred later, but Chris, go on.
Jesus.
Let's start with the Xbox One. Now, the Xbox One, first off, as most people are aware, one of the added features they finally added was a Blu-ray capability. First off, get this, you have to actually sign in and go download the Blu-ray player as an actual app. So that, to me, that to start with was laughable. Like, really? You mean out of the box? Like, I couldn't just, no internet or nothing, plug it in and play a Blu-ray. You can't do it because you got to sign in and download the actual Blu-ray app.
To be fair, what I heard is you can't do pretty much anything on the Xbox One unless it's connected to the internet.
I'm going to get to that. The other thing, okay, the Blu-ray player itself, I've ran into troubles sometimes with certain movies that it just won't play for whatever reason, and sometimes I have to just try more than one time. Like there was a James Bond movie, I think, that I tried, and there was like
a Sony title.
Yeah, go figure. And there was like The Hobbit, or there was a few others that I tried.
Yes, the good. Yes, popular movies won't play,
But the online part. Okay, now let's talk about that real quick. The online part is not, to me, the biggest problem. The biggest problem is, which kind of ties in with the online part, is that the whole system by default is in this like standby mode, okay? Meaning that unless the power actually is cut to the damn system, when you turn it on, it's like boom, it's on. And yeah, some people say that's great, but where that's a disadvantage is that I'm running into a lot of issues where like Netflix or certain apps,
it logs you out.
Crash. They log out, or they get locked up, and the only way to fix it in some cases, I've actually had to literally go old school and pull the power plug in the back, plug it back in, let the system fully boot up. So that to me was some of the major issues, as far as that, as far as the constant online presence, and then let's talk about the PlayStation, right? Mm-hmm. So the PlayStation, okay. Great as far as looks. The menu, I'm not a big fan totally of the menu.
I absolutely hate the PlayStation 4's interface.
Yeah, I like the original interface, that was on the PlayStation 3. They should have, to me...
Here's where I think you and I can probably agree. If you could somewhat permanently organize the icons, I think it would flow much better, in my opinion.
Sony said that there is ways, which you have to, I guess, figure it out or look it up, to change kind of the GUI interface a little bit. But now, a couple of things I like. Okay, first off, I like the fact that the quality is there. I played an actual PlayStation 4 game.
Holy fuck! This is the first time you actually talked about a game talking about these damn things. And that's a primary function.
You're absolutely right.
It really? Just hold on 1 second.
Can I say something real quick?
No, be real quick.
Fairness. No, let me say something. In all fairness, in regards to the Xbox One, the reason I didn't mention a game is because honestly, the quality, the play. You know what? Let's rewind for a second then, okay? I'll give this one good credit. And this is something that I could only attest to. You guys are not big into football games, so you really can't understand where I'm coming from.
Shut up. No,
right.
we will not praise a Madden game on this show.
Shut your mouth. Madden 15, okay, which is...
Fuck Madden.
Shut up for a second. Now, I'm not a big fan of how EA in general likes to Call of Duty everything or Madden everything, to where
Madden.
you basically come out with the game with one little added feature, and then everyone's like, oh my god, let's buy it up. Well, my thing is, first off, with Madden 15, it is the definitive best version so far, and it's not like they said before where they said, oh, this is the best or this was the best. No, this one, if you actually do your research and check all the people that have scrutinized previous versions of, because nobody liked Madden 25. Nobody liked the previous version before Madden 25. But Madden 15 is finally, they got everything right, and they added some things that should have been there. Now, that being said, one thing I loved about, because I played the 360 version of Madden 15, and I played the Xbox One version of Madden 15. Mm-hmm. And one thing I liked, and they did this with the PS4 version as well, is they've added a lot of content, a lot of features, like things like when your quarterbacks come into the field, you actually see a live stream of like the quarterback in real life.
Okay.
The replays. There's a lot of little things that they added. The crowds look better. The sidelines look better. The coaches and players' faces are more realistic. You don't have those glitches and bugs that you see commonly in the 360 and the PS3 versions. I mean, it would look great, okay? But the reason why I didn't really want to mention any game in Xbox One is because honestly, meh. Okay, it looks great, has a lot of features, but it's nothing to brag about. There was nothing that stood out that said this is worth mentioning. Now, on the PS4 side of it, going back to that, okay, besides the menu being great, Blu-ray player obviously is decent, and thank God they added the DNLA client back in. I was kind of mad they didn't have that in the beginning.
Oh, when did they add that?
It was just like the last update from what I heard, but I haven't updated it yet. So, But
you have a PS4 too?
No, I don't. But I'm thinking about selling my Xbox One and getting a PS4.
Oh God. Okay, so okay.
Yeah,
so
because
you drank the damn Kool-Aid, and now you regret it, right?
The truth was, actually, it's a long story, but I got to try it out to start with. It was a thing through Aaron's, and it wasn't a normal like rent-to-own kind of thing. And it's mainly because a friend of mine is the manager.
That Kool-Aid was kind of bitter.
Yeah, I wasn't going to pay the full $400 and then be stuck with it, right? I wasn't going to do that. So he let me try it out, and I've had it for a month, and like everything I just said, about it.
Okay.
But let's stop forcing me off topic, goddammit, because we're going to be here all night of me trying to finish. You don't see me.
Go on. Go.
Now, anyways, as I was saying about the PS4, the games, wow. Okay, you could definitely see the quality difference. You could see one of the cool things I actually have to point out is the streaming capability, and also the clips part, where you can be in mid-game, take a clip of some replay of some kind, and just put that bitch right on Facebook and YouTube, and share it right away while you're in mid-game, and just continue going. And I love that kind of thing. I actually did that when I had Watch Dogs, when I had a PS4, when I tried it out months ago. And Watch Dogs for it, I mean, it was cool. And it was neat how, like, there was a bum on the street, and I thought it was funny because I forgot what it was all about, but I took like a screenshot and did like a little short video, and it was real neat. Everything worked really great, and I love that. And I see friends online who are playing like the new Call of Duty game, and they're posting their their batches, like where they own somebody or whatever. Oh, yeah. And just overall, I think the system's pretty good, but as far as is it worth paying $400 for it? No. I think it needs to come down another $50 to $100. But if you're like a just hardcore gamer and you have to have the system, and let's say if you were in this debacle Xbox One or PS4, then hands down PS4, because you're gonna have way less problems. You're gonna enjoy the system better, and just the experience is better.
Okay. So. All right. So, Mario, you have both.
Yes. I'll try to give you the short version of how we got on both.
Yeah, please explain.
You have a deal with errands, and you got in. No.
No. I think I had mentioned sometime. I don't know if I mentioned on the show, but we were sort of eyeballing my wife and me were eyeballing the Xbox One only because of two things. No, well, actually, really because of one thing. Not two. So Target was not really Halo. Target was basically selling it on Black Friday for $329.99 with Sunset Overdrive, plus a $70 gift card on top of that. So we're thinking, you're getting that plus this. You can technically buy another controller, another game. That's not exactly that horrible. Slight win-win. You're just buying the unpopular kid in the school. That's how I had to see it. So then after we did that, unfortunately, Target screwed us right in the tush. They only gave us the $320. We got it for $329 somewhere else because Target said, "Oh, sorry, we're not going to give you the gift card anymore. You suck, Target. You just suck sometimes." So I got it for $329.
Damn, and I thought Walmart was bad.
Well, I don't know. It was just Black Friday deals. You know how I went. Yeah. So after we got the Xbox One, my wife decided to buy Little Big Planet 3 for PS3 because she was really aching to play the game. So by the time we got Little Big Planet 3, Little Big Planet 3 was so glitchy, so horrible. She said, "Is it on PS4?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "We're not taking a vacation next year. Go ahead and buy the darn PS4 for Little Big Planet 3.
Nice.
And therefore, that's
that's a hell of a game to buy it for, man. That's
yeah, I'll tell you very much. She is extremely happy now. She has no bugs. So,
can't talk. I've spent money just to buy a game because it has Zelda. I bought a system just because it has Zelda on it. I really can't.
Yeah.
Okay. We've all been there at one point or another. So I'm like, okay, income tax is coming back. Okay, maybe.
I spent extra money on movies for the trinkets. I can't. Yeah.
So. My overall package deal and really working with these consoles day in, day out, here's what I'll say. I'll give you the pros at the very least here first. Xbox One, I think the interface at the very least is a little more organized than Sony, but not by much. Not by much.
Snap on, snap off. I swear if I see snap on all the time, I'm going to punch my fucking monitor, man.
Well, thank goodness I don't have the Kinect. Thank goodness I don't have the Kinect at all. So I don't have to, I don't really use the snap-on features, but the seamlessness is pretty cool on the Xbox One.
Wait. How do you not have the Kinect? It comes default with it.
No, you don't have to get it now.
No.
Really? I thought it came with the system. You had to get it.
They got rid of that about a month ago.
I thought they got rid of that like almost a whole year into 2014. Like, we're taking the whole darn thing off.
They got rid of that like in June or August.
It must have been in the last few months because every box I've ever seen, it had a Kinect with it.
Well, the ones they sell, or the ones that are available, are the ones with the Kinect. They're having a hard time keeping the ones without the Kinect in stock.
I know. You're definitely right. So that's why we got it for $329. Ha. And plus some.
Where the fuck is that? Well, whatever.
Anyways, okay, so let's focus on, since you guys have played both, and let's start talking, actually skip hardware and go to software.
Sure, games.
Is there any games that you guys can say, yes, I have to have a new console to play? I didn't have any last year.
Xbox
because I'm looking at Game of the Year awards right now, and every Game of the Year award is a multi-console for the most part.
It is, yeah. Saw that.
I mean, you got Far Cry, Shadow of Mordor. I don't know why GTA 5 counts, but I think they're counting the next gen version. But that's a cheat.
That's
year. Xbox One, it seems really
software. I'll tell you, it. A lot of people. Maybe have you tried Titanfall out yet at all?
I've played Titanfall on PC and I played on Xbox One.
I played on. Yeah.
I
have it on computer.
Yeah, me too. I got it for $5, man. Heck yeah.
Yeah, it was on sale. Yeah.
But I played and I liked the tutorial. I had more fun on the tutorial than I did when I actually got to play the game. Because by the time I got to play the game, is I figured out why I should not have spent $5 on the game. because it's
Yeah.
just online.
Did you get that feeling like it's just another Battlefield kind of game where it's spam fest?
Yes.
That's what.
Yes.
Excuse me. Yeah, spamming. Oh God, I wish I could round up in a room of people that's all they base their so-called skill around is finding the biggest boom weapon and spamming people with it. I want to put them in one room, douse them with gasoline, and set them on fire. Because
Oh,
I swear to
there's
God,
the angry Carty we're used to. Set him on
You know,
fire.
but it all, but
Oh, we do endorse setting people on fire sometimes.
but in all seriousness, I mean, my thing is with the software. Okay, Titanfall. Okay, was a stretch. That Rome was what was it?
Wasn't that
Rise.
last year?
Rise.
Rise.
That was actually the opening title. It's technically 2013, but even those were just kind of a disappointment. They were better for PC than they were for the actual Xbox One console.
Let's look.
But on the PlayStation, well, just real quick, the PlayStation 4, even then, there's nothing that like stands out. It's the only thing that stands out on the PS4 are the multi-console games that happen to be on it.
Yeah.
It's just like Matt was saying. It's like the only, and it makes sense if you look at, the top 10 for most polls for the year. Most of them are multi-console games. They're nothing exclusive.
We're basically coming down to the conclusion that no exclusivity at all this year. Basically, the only reason why anything was selling was because it was multi-platform.
Except
You just
one.
had to pick.
Nintendo.
Except one.
Yeah, minus out the one that we all wanted to keep at last,
So
Nintendo.
let's talk about the big
Nintendo.
change this year.
Mhm.
The Wii U has been selling
Yeah, I have.
It has.
fairly
little-
well lately.
Little guy's getting some steam finally.
People wrote it off. Nintendo said, "Wait until we make some games,"
Mm-hmm.
and oh, have they?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bayonetta 2 is probably, in my mind, the best console exclusive game all year
Yep.
for any system. Maybe not game of the year, but
Yeah.
best. No, screw it. Best game of the year probably, but definitely best. Why are
I'll
they
be
saying
honest,
Stick of Truth is game.
I
of the
want
year?
to
That's
see
just stupid.
Bayonetta. I want to see Bayonetta win. I want to see it win
Yes.
Game of the Year because it deserves it. For as much shit that Nintendo
Right.
gets, and now people are jumping on the bandwagon at the last minute. I say to those people, fuck you for being slow.
and Microsoft has done what they usually do, and has, in my mind, Sunset Overdrive's a good title.
That
It
was a
is,
fun.
yeah.
It's a fun. It's a fun
but
game.
again, it's one title.
Exactly.
And, Microsoft is very well known for that. Sony doesn't really. In my mind, I've always said that Sony has very few console exclusive titles that are really good. You got the God of War series and a few other things here, Killzone, but nothing like Halo.
Even I have to admit this, having the Halo Master Chief Collection, I gotta say,
Did it work?
okay, minus out the multiplayer still has a lot of problems. I still like the fact that I finally have a pristine version of all of these games that were relatively better
all
than an 8
remastered,
out of
yeah.
10.
All right, so let's get
That was-
to the elephant in the room per se.
Woohoo.
This year, despite the relative disappointment in titles, it was a disappointment in just terms of quality.
Mm-hmm.
The Captain of Gondor show his quality. But anyways, the video games themselves have had questionable quality as of late. Big AAA titles come out broken as all hell.
Drive Club.
Don't get me fucking started.
Assassin's Creed
is
Yep.
and I have it. I
Destiny.
just got it a week ago, and it's so
Destiny.
buggy.
I mean,
Ugh.
all these titles, to the point that titles people were anticipating. Watch Dogs, I think, was broken.
Watch Dogs had a lot of problems right out the gate.
The Master Chief Collection had we had
Online
tons
issues, yeah.
and tons of problems with AAA titles.
Yep.
Just you rush these damn things out the door and we'll fix it later. It isn't like it used to be,
Yep.
back in the day with consoles. Excuse me, with consoles. back in the day with consoles, you would, have, you had. I'm sorry, someone's doing something with my mouse, and I have a wireless mouse out there, and they're fucking with it. Console games used to be cartridges. You couldn't patch them.
And and let me just say, guys, in all honesty, I'm severely pissed off that they're doing this shit, because not only are they obviously doing it on purpose, but when I sit here and I get a game, right, just to throw an example out there, Xbox One, it came with Forza 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I installed it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I started to run, it said I had to run an update. That update took probably a half a fucking day.
Was it Assassin's Creed that the update was the whole damn game?
Yes.
Yep. 14 gigs.
That's the other thing.
You patched the game.
You
didn't just create a patch. You recreated the game.
Matt, listen to this. I bought it was on sale. I think it's still on sale, the holiday thing. I bought it for $40. Pulled it up on Steam, hit download. It downloaded. I thought, hey, that was really quick. No, that wasn't the game. It was the installer part of Uplay. As soon as I pulled Uplay up, connected to Steam, that's when the actual installation. It took forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the update took
Assassin's Creed?
hours. Yes. The update just, I was blown away.
Yeah, you remember? Do you guys remember when what was it that when the PlayStation 3 first came out? One of the big problems was every game you put on it, it took a 90-minute pre-install before you could play the damn game.
Yep.
You remember those?
Of course.
What was the first one? Metal Gear Solid 5.
It was 4.
Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh
First,
my
you had to
gosh.
take you like 20, 30 minutes to start the game, and once you started the game, you got to watch a 90-minute movie.
Hey, the only thing I'd only defend about that is that the first 30 minutes, it was like Kojima said, okay, I know the gamers are going to be really mad, so I'm going to make something entertaining for them to watch, at least for the first 30
was
minutes.
Was it GTA 4 that took like an hour to install? You had to load the whole game?
Yep.
That one felt like forever, yes.
Yeah, that took forever.
We're getting back to that, but just to fix glitches, well, what just got pushed back? A major title just got pushed back.
The Witcher 3.
The Witcher game,
because they're like, we don't want to fuck this up.
Yeah.
And Gotham Knight got pushed back.
Gotham Knight.
My hand in the air, I thank them 100 times that they did that.
Who makes Witcher? Is that 2K?
Witcher, I can tell you in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think Witcher's a 2K game. If I believe if I am correct there, I could be wrong. Witcher wouldn't surprise me, but
yeah, it's God dang it.
I think we dropped Mario.
Developers, publisher was Spike, 1C. Developer was CD Projekt.
Yeah. I don't know who the developer is here. Yeah.
So it's a new. This is a new publisher. It's not who did the previous versions, but.
Looks like I dropped you guys on accident. Skype.
Gotcha.
Sometimes I really.
Are we still recording?
Yeah. It's just Skype being Skype.
Okay.
So we'll keep going. Keep it going.
But yeah, it's a different developer than the previous versions.
For which game?
For Witcher 3.
Oh, so it's not CD Red, is it?
It is.
Goodness,
it's a different.
It's a different.
We're wondering about the publisher.
CD.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, CD developer is still CD Projekt, but it's
BioWare. BioWare used to put it out.
Yeah, BioWare did the first one.
BioWare used to put it out back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in any case, back on topic. I think quality control is the big problem we've had this year in gaming, primarily. We've had some AAA titles that are broken beyond hell. There's no excuse in my mind for this bullshit, other than them shoving it out, saying we'll fix it in post. They're pulling Ed Wood with video games.
Out of curiosity, guys, and I'm just tossing this out there. Do you think it's probably because the masses have been, since companies basically now have to look at the feedback what we give them to say, well, we want a game every year because I get my Call of Duty all the time, I get Madden all the time. How hard can it be for you guys to whip out a Witcher 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 every year? How hard can it be?
They don't know also that
you know what it is?
every Call of Duty game is made every other year by a different developer.
Exactly.
I got you there.
No, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Here's what it boils down to. Because of companies like EA and all these others that have multiple houses that can churn and burn shit out the door like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
They have spoiled the general community of gamers to the point of now gamers are like, it's been 9 months. Where's our new game at?
So, do you guys remember when we used to get maybe 1-2 games of a franchise per generation, maybe if we're lucky?
Yeah, every 2 years or something. There might be scattered in between, like, some mediocre game here or there.
I mean, you didn't get a Sonic every year. You got maybe one Sonic game every 2-3 years.
Exactly.
We didn't get a Final Fantasy. We're on 14. They were actually even Square's not bad with Final Fantasy. You get maybe 2 games a generation if you're lucky.
If you're very lucky.
2.
I guess the company who's only holding that crown is Nintendo. They're still holding to say, we'll give you a Mario, but we're not going to give you him every year. He's still going to be every 4 years.
Nintendo's always been quality over quantity, and that's just how they work. That's why their titles are AAA titles. And why Nintendo, despite people saying, oh my God, write them off, the Wii U's a failure, it's bouncing back. Because people know that when the games come out, they will be quality. Mario Kart 8 was a success this year.
Still
Smash
playing
Brothers
it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, me too.
I
just got the new expansion packs today. Smash Brothers is great. Bayonetta 2 is great. Next year, we're going to have Zelda, which will be, the big title for Nintendo and probably running for Game of the Year, more than likely. The new Zelda game looks amazing. And Star Fox and some other titles.
I can't wait till Star Fox, dude. I've been looking forward to Star Fox.
And I know we're kind of switching gears to what we're anticipating next year, but we'll switch to that. But next year, we got Zelda. I mean, to me, that's going to be the title to beat. We got Halo 4, I think, comes out, or the new
Halo 5
next year.
Halo 5.
Yep, we'll see what happens there.
If
it comes out.
If the universe is completely aligned together, Final Fantasy 15 rumored somewhat to come out this year. Could be a game, another one to beat as well.
And of course, the real to-beat game, the game that really is the end-all be-all, Arkham Knight. Yep.
As
much as I love me some Zelda, that and Zelda are the 2 games I am.
Because that's their last game. That's the last game they said they're making, right?
Well, it's the last one that Rocksteady will work on. They'll farm it to another team like they did with Arkham Origins and keep it going, more than likely. There's money to be made.
Hopefully it's somebody good, because who did Origins was terrible. I don't like Origins at all.
It was Montreal
Studio. Yeah.
Montreal, yeah, that's right.
Montreal. It was an in-house developer.
Actually, another title that I really should be looking forward to, at least from Sony's standpoint, the only exclusive that's looking really freaking awesome, Uncharted 4.
Yeah. Uncharted 4. Dead Island 2's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got I just don't think we have. There are games coming out, but do you guys think we're going to see Persona 5? Do you guys think we're going to see a shift in quantity to quality next year, or just more of the same old, same old? Or do you think they're learning their lessons? What do you guys think?
I'm really hoping they're learning their lesson, because
remember
what we talked. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'll make it really quick. Remember what I talked about last year was, what was the thing that made everything crash in the 80s was simply because we lost quality control. Or basically there wasn't. So for 2014, not to say or foreshadow or sound really paranoid about it, but if we don't shape up from last year, I mean, I'm not putting on the table, but who knows? So they better shape up this year.
Well, one good sign that I've noticed is that if you talk to either GameStop or Best Buy or any or even Amazon, any pre-ordering store that does that ability to pre-order games. When you talk about titles and when they're going to be released and stuff, the good news is I'm seeing that there's a lot less titles that they're committing to for this year. Now, that being said, that says something to me, because that says, okay, last year, I don't know if you caught on to that, but from the very beginning of 2014, I mean, you go to GameStop or Best Buy or something, and they knew when a game was going to come out 9-10 months down the road, and that's exactly when it came out, if not earlier. And to me, that's a bad thing, because that's saying, okay, we know we're pushing it out and whatever. But this year, I'm seeing that that's not the case.
Gotta meet release date. Release date.
Even though it's still a little too early, we're still only a couple of days into January. But even that being said, because of how the holiday went, Friday which is today, was kind of like a day of people going out and buying shit, just like it was last Friday, right after Christmas. And they're already, if they're going to talk about any pre-ordering for games in 2015, it would have been during that time. And the good news is, we don't see any of the huge ones that we know are going to come out. It's not, first off, there's not that many of them, and we're not getting set in stone dates. And I love that, because that says, okay, maybe they are learning their lesson. They're seeing what everyone else saw.
Video games are not movies. You cannot set a release date for a movie, for a video game, and say, oh, it will be done by this date.
Matt, tell people what you were telling me about that analogy, that they're trying to be like the movie industry.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know what? I got on this rant before, but I'll do it briefly.
Yeah, do it again.
We're going to do an episode of Geek Rage on this, so I want to bring Geek Rage back.
Heck yeah.
Stop putting your movie in my damn video games. Look, I've had people say, oh my God, the story is so amazing in this game. It's so cinematic. Fuck cinematic. It is a fucking video game. Interactive. I take a controller. I don't have a controller right here.
Michael Bay.
I play freaking games like...
Matt, did Michael Bay do a open video for what game was it? Was it Battlefield 4?
I don't remember.
Or was it Call of Duty? I couldn't remember.
I don't remember. But in any case...
Yeah.
It's not a fucking movie. I expect good gameplay. Now, I'm not saying skimp on story, because to me, the first single-player experience is the biggest victim of is the biggest victim in gaming right now. There is no single-player experience in many video games anymore. Unless it's on a Nintendo console, you're not getting a single-player experience.
It's usually tutorial, like we were talking about earlier, Titanfall.
Or some half-ass bullshit like in Battlefield or Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we got Kevin Spacey. You're putting your video game your real-life actors inside my video games as prestige. Like it elevates you. Most people just mock the fact Kevin Spacey's hamming it up and is corny as hell in them. It's kind of like whenever I see an anime get dubbed, they make a big deal about who the voice actors are, but you're like, but is the dub any good? I usually don't listen to the dub. I don't give a shit that David Duchovny or Kirsten Dunst or Gillian Anderson's dubbing an anime.
Only if it was Cowboy Bebop, the only exception.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop.
No, Cowboy Bebop was never dubbed by celebrities.
I know that. Yeah,
I mean, they're dubbed by the same by regular voice
people
acting group.
Who did like Sunrise and all. Yeah, but I was only using it as an example. Like, well, the only good one that came out dubbed was that one.
I love Cowboy Bebop.
Dubbed anime?
Well, as an anime altogether.
Trigun's really good dubbed. Inuyasha's really good. I prefer Trigun over the English over the Japanese version, actually, in English. Bleach's is passable. Naruto's is. But they're all done by Ocean Group for the most part, and they usually do a good job.
That's true.
But
I get you. Go on.
There's a lot of good dubbed animes. But I'm saying is you try and make a big deal about these stars doing it, but you're like, they aren't voice actors. They are actors. Mm-hmm. And doing voice acting is very... By the way, if you ever want to watch a really good documentary, it's called I Know That Voice. Very good documentary. It's on Netflix. It's on
Netflix.
I highly recommend you check it out.
It's very good.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it the other day, actually.
And you understand the process behind it. You realize they work harder than standard actors really do.
Oh, hell yeah, they do.
That is cool to know.
Especially video game acting. Video game acting is a pain in the ass. But
Here's a good one I'd like to point out too. It's called Video Games the Movie for anybody who wants to see the entire history of video games too.
but
Yeah, absolutely.
like I was saying, you know, they need to start placing more emphasis on the actual gameplay than the story. In my mind, some have a good balance. Metal Gear games have a pretty good balance. They do. They have fairly good balance between story and gameplay. As much as the story is very engrossing and interesting, the gameplay also catches up. Mm-hmm. But then you have things like Resident Evil, where they've concentrated more on the cinematic aspect, in my mind, than the actual gameplay aspect. And then you have, Call of Duty, which is no story and very half-assed story, with very crappy gameplay. Or worse, you go with the BioShock games. It is all atmospheric.
Freaking awesome though.
Great game, but in my mind, the gameplay itself is great, but the story overshadows it too much.
And I can agree with that. You're right.
And it takes me out of the game world a little too much. But like the Batman games have a very good balance. At least the first two. Arkham City, not so much. Arkham Origins, not so much.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you cannot make a game like a movie because more technical stuff is involved. If you make a movie and you can't get a special effect shot done or can't figure out a special effect, you can work around the scene, make it work. When you got a piece of code or bugs in a game, you can't just say, well, work around it. It doesn't work that way. You've got to fix the fucking bugs, fix the quality, and we're running into that problem again. It used to take years, almost half a decade to make a decent quality video game. Now they're trying to churn them out every 2-3 years. Just not enough time. Not enough time.
There's just too much manpower, too many hours, too many people, and just there's too much involvement that, to try to justify and cram it down into we said, a year or two.
But speaking of movies, so 2014 for movies was a okay year. By no means was it record-breaking. Some were estimated it actually wasn't as good a year as last year or the last couple of years. But we did have a few surprising hits. What do you guys think? What are your guys' opinion on 2014 in terms of movies? The good, the bad, and the ugly?
First, I want to give a disclaimer that we're going to go talk about movies in general, but specifically the ones revolving around comics and that sort of thing. We'll elaborate more on that next week on our first episode of the year for Sell to Screen. So just kind of a disclaimer. But, as far as movies go, I mean, obviously Guardians of the Galaxy was awesome.
Yeah.
Nice movie of the year.
I thought Mockingjay... Yeah, no, Mockingjay
or
Part
as
1
Honest
was
Trailers
great.
called it, Space Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Mockingjay Part 1 was great. I thought, whatchamacallit, the last of the Hobbit trilogy was great. I don't know if you guys probably haven't seen it yet.
People are shitting on that movie.
I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, fuck them, because I thought it was great, and I can't wait to see the extended version, and I think it came out good. There could be any...
So, let's talk about the big movies real quick and go through them. What do you guys say? Run down.
Go for it.
Guardians of the Galaxy. We've talked about this one ad nauseum. Probably the best movie of the year in my mind, I have to agree with. You guys? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I haven't seen Hunger Games, but it's going to make bank no matter what because it's fucking Hunger Games. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Marvel once again continuing their streak of hits. In my mind, a very good movie, better than the first one.
It was one of the lot better than the first one.
Probably in my mind the third best Marvel movie other than Guardians and Avengers. But you made a spy movie in a comic book movie. Really good one too. Even if it wasn't Captain America, it still would have been a very engrossing story. The Lego Movie, another movie no one thought was going to make any freaking money. No one expected that to do what it did.
That was just too surprising.
No one expected it. As in terms of disappointing as video games were, movies was the opposite. This year was the holy shit that made money. Holy shit, this was good.
Yeah,
in terms of movies. Maleficent, I haven't seen it yet. I heard it was good.
Boo.
Like Transformers 4. Ugh.
Boo.
That was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which I also heard was really good.
I watched
heard
it, by the way. It was really good.
Yep.
Was it?
Matt, you should. Yeah, it was really good.
Nice.
I skipped over Age of Extinction. Sorry, because Age of Extinction.
You did not miss much.
You know what though? It had way too much bullshit in it, but at the end was the best part.
And I
It
agree
was
with
the
you.
only
That
good
was
part.
the only good thing in the movie. Then I'm thinking you could have slashed off 40 minutes of the BO
40
in this
minutes of-
movie.
yeah,
and this
tell me
would have
about
been
it.
awesome.
Yeah,
But
seriously.
no.
And Days of Futures. Let's go through the rest of them real quick. Days of Futures
Okay.
Past.
Yes,
The
that was
Amazingly
excellent.
Stoned Spider-Man. We've talked about that. And Gojira.
Gojira!
Yeah, Gojira.
That was great. Good
That
stuff.
I
was
think this
awesome.
year we've had a fairly good run of movies. A lot of good ones. Some we won't mention. You know what movies those are.
Lucy.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Shut up. Which
Actually,
got
I'll take it back.
praised a
Lucy
little bit.
Turtles in a Half Shell.
Lucy was a cool movie.
Which one?
Lucy. It was a pretty cool movie.
Yeah, Big
Lucy
Hero
was
6,
all
another
right,
movie
yeah.
that kind of did really did well. But this year was pretty standard fare, but we had some really big surprise hits, more so than the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, I know we're kind of skipping over movies too much, but we've really talked a lot about the movies already in previous shows. But what are you guys thinking of the trends for next year, 2015? What do you guys think is coming up? What is looking good? What is looking bad?
Anybody want to add some titles? Because I'm a little...
We're not
Yeah.
going to go too deep into it.
Because
But
we're going to talk about
Sure.
we'll just cover the most anticipated movies of the year.
Like Jurassic World, I guess, would be
Jurassic World. You've got the final part of Mockingjay.
one. Mockingjay. And
You've
Ultron.
also got Age of Ultron. You've got
Mm-hmm.
Ant-Man, which Ant-Man is supposed to kind of
Okay.
lead into a lot of
So,
stuff going
Let's
into the
go
following.
through the top 10 here according to movieinsider.com. Just a site I found. Okay, number one is, of course, no, I disagree. Number one to me is Star Wars, The Force Awakens.
Star Wars, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Definitely wanted to know what this turns out to be.
Too bad we have to wait till the end of the fucking year, but
Ain't that crap, yeah.
yeah, but at least the good news on that end is that it gives it its own little cushion.
Yep.
You know, everybody has seen all these other big epic movies, you know, throughout the year. So if it does well, then we're gonna know it. I mean, everyone's
You
gonna
got it away
praise
from
the hell out
Age
of it.
Ultron, which those two
Which
coming
is
out
good.
back together.
Yeah.
Age
Give
of
that
Ultron,
distance.
yeah, and Age of
So-
Ultron. There's the game, the new Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm.
The more I see and the more I see, the more worried I really am.
I'll be honest too, I am, because they keep talking about how they're leading into Civil War, how they're talking about we may lose to Avengers. Yeah, I'm getting kind of concerned too because it's
Are we going to see, you know, as epic as this is supposed to be, it's not going to be as epic as the first one. They've already said that.
yeah.
But at the same time, is it going to have the quality required? And looking back upon it, the first Avengers film had problems. Really did. Especially the opening. And up until the Avengers finally
There were
assembled.
acceptable problems though.
Huh?
They were acceptable problems. I mean, they were
Yeah.
they were like, you know,
Well,
the
you
people
know,
didn't really
Okay, people are willing to forgive for what they got.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it was the first time they've attempted this. They're willing to forgive. They're not going to forgive the second time around.
Exactly. Well, yeah,
Hell
this
no.
is going to be scrutinized a lot more, which
Oh,
I would say just as kind of putting this out here, but let's not get too specific into it yet. Let's
Yeah.
save that
we'll
for
talk
next
about that
week.
later. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
But
we got
yeah.
Fast and Furious 7.
Yes, Fast and
Okay.
Furious.
Which
Wow. I was really looking forward to this, and now I'm even more so. Sadly, not because of, you know, the fact that, you know, this was Paul Walker's last movie, but, you know, the fact is Jason Statham is like a bad guy in it, and, you know, it's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be a really badass Fast and Furious movie. I think it'll be probably one of the best, and so it's going to be interesting to see, because this. And for those who are keeping score at home, if you're somewhat familiar, maybe not aware, the Fast and Furious movies, this is the first real, you might as well say present day in a sense, because if you didn't realize this, when it went, the first movie was the first movie by itself, and then when it went to the second movie was, it took place basically. The second one was Too Fast, Too Furious. They went down to Miami. That one took place right afterwards. Then after that, when they went to Tokyo Drift, that's where things kind of went. A lot of people didn't realize this until
Timey-wimey, wibbly wobbly.
Yeah. It was basically the
Let's
last.
just say
the second.
4, 5, and 6. Let me just say 4, 5, and 6. This is coming straight from like the director, the writers. That basically was meant to be a trilogy on its own that took place basically between 3 and 7.
Yeah, 3 and 7.
Yeah,
You're right.
3 and 7, and 7 starts almost a whole new trilogy, which is what they wanted to do. Which, the Paul Walker thing may decide, and how popular it ends up being may decide whether or not they go forward with the next trilogy. But which I think they will. But that's kind of the timey-wimey.
Yeah. But,
Wibbly
all
wobbly.
right. So then we got Jurassic World, which looks interesting.
Yeah, it does.
And Spectre, the new James Bond movie.
Oh, I can't wait, man.
Now, we're going to talk more about these movies next week. We're going to do a whole movie special for 2015.
Sounds
but
good.
overall, let's just get to 2014 in movies. Good, bad.
Wait, what'd you say now?
What do you guys
Repeat.
think overall in 2014? Was it good, bad, or meh?
For movies?
I say it was good.
I say it was good too. It wasn't bad. It definitely was.
I'm going with it was meh. We had we had some good movies, but by no means was as good as the last few years.
I wasn't saying it was great.
Yeah. But next year's looking up. Yeah. I think we have a lot of really good movies next year coming up. A lot more than we had this year. TV. This year we had a couple of great new TV shows start up. We had Gotham.
Yeah.
Which in my mind is probably one of the better shows of the year. We have The Flash. Also really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I mean, Game of Thrones is great as always.
Still
we
going.
Finally
Yeah.
saw them put the stake in True Blood. Yay!
Oh, and Dexter. ended. A lot of people
ended last year.
No, it actually ended. Remember, it split season. It ended in
Didn't watch Dexter.
2014.
So, what did you guys think of 2014 in terms of TV?
I call it I saw it as a bit of a meh year. I mean, not to say that Gotham and Flash didn't make up for it, but those are really the only two shows.
Not make.
You're right.
I don't know. I'd have to say it actually was a good year, but it was not as a whole. The start of the year was kind of meh, but as soon as it hit like May time, spring, then it hit summertime and forward, that's when things started to pick up because you saw, like, for example, I was a big fan of Boardwalk Empire. The final season was this year, ended really good. I think it ended better than Sopranos or any of the other.
Better have. After what happened with Sopranos, I don't think everyone's gonna fuck that one up again.
Yeah, it ended really well.
Sons of Anarchy ended too.
Sons of Anarchy ended this year, which was really great. This is a great season for them. No spoilers, promise. But and I mean, I've watched a lot of series this year, and I have to say, in general, if it wasn't for the latter part of the year, 2014 would have sucked. So luckily, luckily now that's a good sign for 2015 because now, there's some series that are going away, but now we have some new ones that are picking up the slack and going into 2015. We got Agent Carter coming out. The pilot's going to be out next week.
Hopefully they can fix. What's going on with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's gotten.
Which I think, my opinion is, I think, we'll talk about that more in Sell to Screen, but because I don't think seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the ending yet, but
no.
I've been
dreading it. You better see it.
I heard they finally did something that will actually affect the movie.
Oh, the MCU is definitely in full effect at the very end.
I know what the spoiler is. What I'm like, okay, all right. about time you finally did something that could impact the actual Marvel universe as a whole in this show. We were kind of wondering if they were ever going to do it, and they did it.
Well, like supposedly 2015 is going to be even more so, and we'll talk about more of this on Self Screen.
Said they need to do.
Which they are. Like they talked about Jeremy, what's his face, is going to make a cameo, that there might be some other Avengers showing up, and there might even be episodes that segue right into Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
and
they
then,
said that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's going to happen, and then you'll literally...
Nice.
Which is fucking awesome, anyway.
2015, this coming year.
Yeah.
We have a couple of shows coming up that are in development and coming out. Oh, by the way, almost forgot. The new Doctor.
The new Doctor.
Ah, yeah.
What do you guys think of Peter Capaldi?
Yeah, I liked it. I like him, man. He's awesome.
He has grown on me very well, which was a lot to say even for my wife. My wife said, finally, it was like the 5th episode, she said, I like him.
My wife likes the asshole Doctor.
I like him.
I like how he calls them pudding brains and shit. I love that, man.
The asshole Doctor. I miss the asshole Doctor.
Yeah, he's just like the first
Now,
Doctor.
let's talk... we'll talk about Doctor Who a little bit, because to me, that's probably one of the more controversial shows of the year in my mind. They did something... Spoilers. They did something that everybody knew was going to happen that they tried to hide, but I don't know if it's really a spoiler considering it's like one of the worst kept secrets ever.
Yeah.
They brought the Master back.
Yes, they did.
Oh, yes, I know.
They didn't explain how.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. They kind of said it, but it didn't. It kind of was like blah, blah, blah.
And
that was
the
it.
Master is a woman.
Which now leads us to believe that the Doctor may have another little thing up his sleeve if anything happens to Capaldi.
But here's what I'm curious about, guys. Because you've obviously seen the end. You've seen all the episodes. My question is this. This is what I've been... It doesn't have to do with the Christmas one, but my question is this. Now that the season's over with, okay, we see Capaldi in action. You know, there was that underlying thing that had to do with where is Gallifrey. Do you think that Gallifrey will play a big part in the next season? Do you think that that's going to be their key thing?
They'll drop it like a bad habit.
You think they will?
They've left so much shit dangling in front of us for seasons after season after season just to bring it up out of fucking nowhere and resolve it. The cracks in time, they forgot about it for almost 2 fucking years.
That's true.
And finally bring it up in the last episode before when Matt Smith leaves like, oh yeah, we forgot about this. We should probably wrap this up.
But you know what? I think that's what they're so notorious for doing. They so want to take such a big topic, and then he slowly says, I'm going to make you forget about that because I want you to, because I'm going to bring it back.
That's shitty storytelling.
Because I want you to see it later.
I've said this before. Doctor Who right now under Moffat is problematic for me. I did not grow up on the classic series. I watched New Who.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah,
and that's what they call it.
I know.
It's kind of like I grew up on Star Trek: The Next Generation. I actually had never seen a single episode of the original series outside of the movies until I was about 19. Because it did not air locally.
Wow.
It did not air locally. It did not air in this market.
Yeah, I watched
TOS
because I had the only reason I watched it when I was younger, Matt, was I had the videotapes. Yeah, because my uncle Johnny.
Only way I caught it was when Sci-Fi Channel started airing them.
Yeah,
I watched them as a kid. I was 6, and it was on local TV. Well, my place. I was in Miami.
When I started watching Star Trek: Next Generation was in rotation, then Deep Space Nine, and
that's true.
Oh, okay,
and that's what I grew up on.
Yeah, sure.
But you know, one thing that made TNG accessible is the fact they did not rely at all on previous series mythologies, and none of the Star Trek series really ever relied on a previous series.
And you're right
to watch the other ones, except Enterprise.
But
Enterprise suffered the same problem that Doctor Who does. When you do you know who Fred Deckard is?
Sounds familiar.
He's the guy who directed Monster Squad.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Monster Squad.
Yeah, and he also directed RoboCop 2.
RoboCop 2.
Oh.
Yeah. Good one. 3. RoboCop 3.
3. Yeah, because nobody.
Okay.
because they criticized 3 for being too
Kid-friendly.
too kid friendly. Yeah,
There was an interview with him that was really good. Lately.
yeah. Me and Matt were talking about it. I remember a few weeks ago.
He did an interview on Radiodrome, and he was talking about how he did episodes of Enterprise, and there are 2 types of writers for Star Trek: fans and non-fans.
Mm-hmm.
The best episodes were written by non-fans.
That's true.
Because the non-fans will not stick to convention and are willing to take more risks. They aren't formulaic. They make new episodes, but they don't they let you explore and work as standalone and don't really require much mythology building.
Mm-hmm.
Fans will always try and do callbacks or work in things from classic shows or little Easter eggs, things like that.
Like in Deep Space Nine when they had to do the mirror episode.
Dude, that must have appeared like once or twice every season.
Yeah.
Every back in Enterprise.
Enterprise had it too,
Enterprise suffered from a problem of them always trying to do callbacks. Yeah. Doctor Who is and it suffered for that. Doctor Who's doing the same thing. As much as I wasn't a big fan of Russell T Davies' writing, he did not rely on old Who to dictate anything at all. He introduced the Daleks, he introduced Davros, he introduced the Master. But the way he did it was slowly, surely, but didn't require you to watch anything previously to understand the character or its motivation.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't wasn't required. Moffat, if you don't know anything about old Who, you're fucked. And, he throw in these references and things you don't understand.
Yeah, if you're new to Who, you won't understand.
And I've gone back through and watched them, so I understand it a little more. Mm-hmm. But I'm sorry, when they bring in the Master, you're like, you got to realize most people don't know who the fuck that is. Because
they're like, who's the Master?
Fact that the Master was in a couple, as John Sim was in a couple episodes with David Tennant, no one has any idea who he is. In fact, most people probably forgot about that because it was so long ago.
Yeah, that's true.
And, this stuff with the Cybermen, I mean, the Moffat's, got a hard-on for the Cybermen. The Cybermen, the new Daleks.
Yeah, Jesus Christ,
every other fucking episode.
Every episode has Cybermen in it, I swear to God.
No, and he makes callbacks to shit that no one has any... Everyone's like, hee, if you know it, but you don't know it. You're like, what? I mean, they did a few things here or there that were kind of funny, what they did. Like I think they threw in a reference in Pompeii that... The Doctor is responsible for the burning of Rome Rome with Nero. They did that callback once in an episode. I think that was the only thing I remember was a callback to an old series in Russell T Davies' era. In fact, I think that one was written by Moffat. But Doctor Who suffers from this problem of having to rely on old mythology. The introduction of Gallifrey back into the show will do this. It will cause the show to be required to watch the older episodes to get the new storylines. You're going to be lost and you'll lose the fans of New Doctor Who really, really fast. You're trying to build mythology, but you're trying to steep it in the older mythology, not the current mythology. That's going to lose fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. Moffat needs to go. You need to get somebody in there.
I think they need someone fresh.
You need someone who's going to write Doctor Who, not as a fan, but as a writer. Someone who's going to write it as... You could be a fan, but not a fanboy. Moffat is a fanboy. When fanboys write, you get professional fan fiction, which is what we're ending up with. And in my mind, this season of Doctor Who was one of the biggest travesties because of that. A lot of references, a lot of callbacks, but nothing really engrossing like we've had in previous years. Capaldi was fine, but the storylines were convoluted and just complicated, overly complicated than they really need to be. And this is a children's show, you moron.
Yep.
Keep it simple. You don't need to make these overarching storylines.
Are you my mummy?
Keep them easy. It's pissing me off, but, I digress. So, what do you guys think of comics?
Comics are cool, man. I love getting back into comics.
We were kind of talking about at the beginning, so we'll talk
Chris,
about
I'll
that.
Let you get into this because you're more
definitely.
Go for it.
Yeah, 2015. Like I was saying in the pre-show to Mario. Oh man, this is like probably a good year to get started on comics. And granted, a lot of guys like, I'm not really in that group of stingent. Probably John is, but maybe not. I don't want to speak
Yeah,
for him,
John's
but
kind of out of comics
he's
for
kind
the
of
most modern ones.
true. But for the person who's wanting to like say, hey, all these movies, all these TV shows I'm being saturated with, all based on these comics. Let's check out the comic source material, and you'll be surprised to find out they're actually doing a lot of things. For one, Marvel. Wow, Marvel. They are actually bringing back Secret Wars. They're bringing back. Don't ask me why. They're kind of rebooting they got Secret Wars. They got
You mean Civil War or Secret Wars?
those Secret Wars. Eventually, they are planning on bringing back
the
Civil War.
Clone Saga, because that was a travesty upon itself when it was first done.
Well, yeah, they're pretty much like rebooting a lot of things. It's from what I can understand, it's not necessarily retconning previous material, but it's inspired based on and kind of going in different directions on certain things. So there will be a little bit of surprises for those who have seen the first go around for like the Secret Wars and for for eventually they're bringing back Civil War. That's going to lead probably towards the latter part of the year, possibly into 2016. DC is kind of like doing kind of something similar, but not as drastic. They've talked about actually ditching, finding a way to retcon, kind of under the gun, retcon everything they did with New 52.
Thank God.
And
And the Joker has his face back again.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank
there's
God.
there's a lot of things DC's doing as far as, I guess they're kind of seeing that people were not too happy with a lot of some
Okay.
stuff was okay,
Look,
but
New
yeah,
52 is an idea to introduce new fans is fine, but the problem is you pissed off your primary fan base in the process, and you don't want to fucking do that.
Well, here's a good example. Like, I would suggest, as far as the next graphic novel to take a look at, would be, two of them. If you like Superman, Superman Unchained. That's one. Another one I would look at, and this one we can elaborate more on because of Matt, but Batman, Death of the Family.
No,
Ooh.
that was shit.
Yeah,
No.
Death of the
you know
Family.
what? Rant
Yeah.
mode on. Okay. hang
Okay,
on.
that's fine.
Let me
Let's go,
adjust
Matt.
here.
Go. Let's. I want to hear what Matt has to say because he,
All right.
Well, I want
So-
to know because I want which one I want to buy.
No.
yeah, it's
No. Okay.
yeah. I don't
So
know.
let me adjust everything, get myself on my soapbox here.
Oh, here
Maybe
he
I'll-
goes.
Am I coming in loud and clear here? Okay,
Mario, maybe
that's
I'll
good.
buy it and let you borrow it because unless you want to just because
Okay, I'm switching just to my view here.
Okay.
Death of the Family is the worst Batman storyline I have read in the last 15 years of Batman comics.
Okay.
Allow me to explain why. First off, changes they've made to the Joker over the last year or so are pretty stupid. Mainly, they're trying to introduce him more as being like the Heath Ledger version of the Joker than the classic comic version of the Joker. He is balls fucking insane. Now, the Joker's always been balls fucking insane, but this is to a new extent. To the point he had somebody cut his fucking face off.
Yeah.
That started the downward spiral. The plot of A Death of the Family is the Joker has this whole grand visioning of rebirth. Going back to just him and Batman. And everything's distracted because Batman isn't focusing on him as much as his extended family. So he says, I want to get back to a basics approach between you and me, Bat Darling. And yes, he calls him Darling again. I fucking hate that shit. Miller did it. But so he kidnaps the Bat family and tries to off them, including with a brainwashed Alfred.
Yeah.
Now, the big controversy here is, one, does the Joker know who Batman is? Yes. Does he acknowledge it? No. Does he care? No.
No.
Bruce pretty much said he may know, but he doesn't care because all he cares about is Batman. He doesn't give a shit on Bruce Wayne.
No.
So he may, in his crazy mind, not be aware of it. But the storyline itself was just so stupid about them trying to get back to basics and the Joker trying to get Batman back to his basics approach. He get back the Batman he fell in love with. It's a love story between the Joker and Batman.
Okay.
And it really is.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I know other comics have kind of gone this route, mainly The Dark Knight Returns.
Well, Matt, what do you think about... I'm not really switching gears. I'm staying on the track of Batman here.
It is shit.
A lot of people were pissed off when they killed off,
Damian?
Damian, yeah. And then what do they go and do? They find a way to bring him back.
They always do. They always do.
I love it.
DC
I love it.
Always does. And they're bringing up Wolverine just died in Marvel. He'll be
and
back.
now they're wanting to bring Mario.
Back.
They're going to find a way. Mario, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah.
If you start reading some of the New 52 stuff on Robin and you get to see what you will realize, which a lot of people realized, is he is maybe not even arguably the best Robin ever.
Fuck no, Dick Grayson.
I don't know, man, because when you think about like a counteract to
he's better than
Batman,
Todd. He's better than Jason Todd.
I don't know, man.
He is Jason Todd done right.
Done right.
They
Maybe that
because to do this with Jason Todd before when they did the soft boot in the 80s.
Yeah.
When they brought Batman back to his more serious approach,
they
actually made Jason Todd more edgy.
He's a badass.
His origin story made it more moody. Damian is what they tried to do with Jason Todd, but failed horribly.
I mean, can you imagine, Mario? Like this version of Robin is like a trained assassin by trained by not only one of the best assassins, Ra's al Ghul, grandson of Ra's al Ghul, but on top of that, trained by Batman. So you got to think you combine those two factors.
He's trained by the League of Assassins.
Well, his main training was League of Assassins. Batman did do some training with him, but it wasn't permanent.
Damian was out there trying to kill people, and Batman's
like,
whoa,
that's what it's Yeah, Batman's literally had to stop them. Batman had to stop
him. Why?
Killing.
Because we don't. Why? Yeah. Because we don't. Why? They're just going to get out of jail and do the same shit again.
Did you watch the animated movie they did of where it introduced Damon? It was
I haven't watched Son of Batman yet.
Son of Batman, yeah, I have it here, and let me tell you that watch that. That'll give you a good idea of how Damon is as far as Robin goes. And
haven't you guys watched that new animated Arkham one? That looks really freaking cool.
I haven't seen it yet, but I haven't
seen
it on my
either.
list.
Yeah, it's on my list too. Yeah, it looks really. I mean, the animation quality is like I've seen a lot of them that they were good, but this one feels like it's like the total
place in the
package.
Arkham universe too, doesn't it?
Yeah. I feel as if this one has like the total package deal.
I was going to say, speaking of Arkham universe, I believe Arkham Manor, which is a new series of comics they released, also takes place in that. I believe it does.
That's cool.
But there's like. I got to say,
I enjoy the Arkham universe more than the New 52.
Hell yeah, I do. I love Arkham universe. I love it.
So
high fives in the air.
What do you think of comics in 2014, Chris? Were they good, bad, what?
2014 was kind of. It was, I don't know.
Attempting to right the ship.
Yeah, that's kind of what the direction was going. Like towards the middle of the year, they started seeing that. A trend. They started realizing, okay, we need to start preparing for 2015. We need to kind of right the ship.
Lois Lane's going to start dating Superman again.
Yes, they're fixing that.
They may be fixing Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, and as far as Marvel goes, it looks like they're kind of like almost doing what New 52. They're kind of retconning everything, but they're kind of going in more of the direction of they want to almost to the point of having continuity with MCU
Let's talk about Marvel just real quick.
Yeah.
Marvel this year has essentially said, if we don't own it, fuck you.
Fuck you, yeah.
If we don't have the movie franchises, fuck you.
Fantastic Four is a good example. They
Unless you're
dropped
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
You know,
like they dropped.
Fox.
Yeah,
Fox isn't playing ball with Marvel right
fuck
now.
Fox, by the way.
Marvel wants to do this big epic thing with all their movie franchises and all this other shit.
Yep,
And
yep.
Marvel is saying, you know, hey, we want to play ball with Sony and Fox. Sony's like, yeah, we'll do that because we really fucked up Spider-Man.
Oh,
And this is
yeah.
before they even fucked up Spider-Man. In fact, they were talking about having the Oscorp Tower in the Avengers.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But they didn't do it because of they already had the CG New York already done. But, but Marvel, Fox said, we don't need you. We're good. And so
Yeah.
Fox said, okay. Well, Marvel said, okay. We're canceling the Fantastic Four. We're canceling every single piece of media other than the comics related to X-Men, TV shows, everything.
Yep.
Killed off Wolverine, which you know that it was because.
Which, by the way, just to add to that, they were thinking about doing a. Wasn't there going to be a mutant-based TV show? That was based on mutants.
Yes.
There was going to be one, and they scrapped
Marvel
it.
is not allowed
Yeah.
to use mutants in the MCU.
They're not allowed to. Yep. Which pisses me off.
Now,
by the way.
Interesting.
you do see Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in the new Avengers movie. They are not mutants.
Can I add something to that too? And this
Now,
is
what are
something
they?
that you can be kind of a relief.
Probably
Okay.
Inhumans.
Inhumans. Okay, let me address that real quick. Now, Inhumans, here's sort of good news, okay? Marvel's smart. Oh, are they smart? All they did was really replace mutants with Inhumans. But the
Inhumans,
smart
okay.
Inhumans are kind of like X-Men, where they're kind of their own series on themselves, and they're based on more enhanced humans, like versions of us but better. They're given powers and so forth, and each Inhuman has different abilities, so on, and it's all from birth and this and that, and they're their own society on their own, hidden from the rest of humanity.
So slightly, so like the X-Men, but we're just changing the title.
Right,
Yes.
but here's where the brilliant part comes in. This is what I foresee. Okay,
Okay, all right.
they're able to replace. They're able to say, okay, well, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver normally were originally mutants. Everybody knows this, but there is a version in a certain universe where, well, yeah, their dad is Magneto. Okay, but they're spinning it off, saying they're Inhumans. But here's where the genius part comes in. See, Inhumans have an interesting relationship with mutants in the sense that they could always, in the future, say, we reintroduce the mutants. Like, let's say later down the road, Fox eventually can't milk the cow anymore on X-Men stuff. Yeah, they either try to retcon, they'll fuck it up. Let's just say it's going to happen. And then what Marvel could turn around and do and say, hey, well, mutants really already existed. It's just we only really talked about the Inhumans, because Inhumans are technically there's a lot of story between it. I'm just kind of summarizing it, but there have been a lot of cross issues where it was kind of a thing where it was like, okay, mutants and Inhumans are kind of the same, really. Mm-hmm. Like Charles Xavier kind of considered Black Bolt and a few of the Bane Inhumans kind of considered them like mutants,
Right.
Okay.
So that's why I think it's kind of a maybe they're not doing it on purpose, but whatever they're doing, it does leave an opening for them to either retcon or literally just slightly modify the story to where it'll make sense in the future when they eventually get all their properties back from Fox, all the X-Men stuff.
So,
what
do we see here in terms of? Well, we'll get more and more into this and sell the screen later this week.
Yeah,
next week. But what do you guys think is going to eventually happen now that Fox has pretty much said we're going to build unofficially and based on the leaks from Sony, which a lot of shit's come out from that Sony leak.
Man.
Including that Marvel is indeed building, or not Marvel, Fox is indeed building their own mini cinematic universe. there will be a crossover between the X-Men and Fantastic Four at one point.
Yeah.
That's going to happen, probably. Sony's plans are completely foobarred because the Amazingly Stoned Spider-Man 2 didn't do so well.
Thank God.
Yep.
Yeah.
And looks like even Sinister Six is in limbo.
Yeah, that's in limbo. I foresee that going down the toilet. And
DC is already talking about revising some of their plans because people thought that there are all these movies coming out. They're going to be unconnected. Nope. They'll be connected.
They'll be connected.
Captain Marvel. Or Shazam, sorry.
Shazam, yeah.
Just out of curiosity, guys, I'm sorry to interrupt here. Does anyone know when's like the last, not to say last, but what's the list looking like in terms of how many more years do we have in terms of Marvel movies? Like, what's the year it looks like it's going to be? Well, it doesn't look like there's anything after such and such a year.
They're planned out to 2019, 2020.
They're up to 2020 right now. Yeah.
Okay. I have a coworker at my job whose mom works at Disney, and she had basically told her, and I'm pretty sure you guys know yourselves that there's probably a reason why they're only going to that year, because in the background of this whole thing, Disney is revving up and prepping up a Marvel theme park.
Oh yeah, because when I used to work for Disney, they used to talk about they talked about a lot of stuff, and there was one thing that's kind of been in the background, and it's called Project Thunder. Mm-hmm. And Project Thunder has been a rumor for years that the biggest part of the rumor was it was going to be an expansion to Hollywood studios, making it into possibly a bigger Star Wars area. That was a more recent rumor. Mm-hmm. The most popular before that was it was going to be a whole theme park mainly to attract roller coaster enthusiasts, to try to almost like a Six Flags kind of.
Sure.
And now the latest rumor is that it's going to possibly be, besides saying it was going to be a Star Wars theme park, which they kind of shut that down real quick, they might actually consider doing a Marvel-based theme park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've heard about James Cameron too with Disney is also trying to get the Avatar theme park up and going too.
Well, that's over in Animal Kingdom. They're expanding Animal Kingdom. Mm-hmm. And you ought to see some of the. I'm sure your friend or what.
Can I ride a giant flying dragon with a tail wing?
Hey, that
literally you can
make it halfway decent.
No. There's a 4D ride that they said is going to be in there, and I'm pretty sure that's one of the things is you'll be riding one of those. Riding on the back of one of those dragon things.
More motivation for me to lose weight, so I'm not doing the walk of shame.
Not to go to Animal Kingdom.
Well, I mean, if you saw some of the images, the pre-concept of what it looks like, basically there's going to be this whole area where, like, how in the movie, at night the plants light up and that.
All right, we're going a little off topic here.
All right, I'm sorry.
Cool. Sorry.
Anyways. Yeah, to answer your question, they're already planned. The last movie on their list is Avengers Part 2. Infinity Wars Part 2.
No. The last one is not Part 2. It's Inhumans.
Inhumans is on November 2nd, 2018. Avengers Infinity War Part 2 is on May 3rd, 2019.
Oh, I'm sorry. We talked about that. Yeah, I forgot. They put it in between.
It looks like it's that way.
Looks like it's that way with the chart,
but it's not.
Yeah, the chart.
Yeah. Inhumans is right before Avengers Part 3.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
Part 2. Infinity Wars Part 2.
Alrighty.
So Avengers 3 will actually be a 2-part movie.
So you'll learn a lot about Inhumans, I'm guessing.
But rumor has it there may be an Iron Man 4 in there somewhere too. So
that's true. Yeah.
They haven't announced yet.
Directed by Mel Gibson. Yeah.
No.
Well, there are some noticeable gaps in the schedule, so we'll see. They may fill that in.
Possible.
We'll see.
Possible.
I'm sorry. The gap they announced. I think the gap they already announced. The gap is Captain Marvel.
That's right.
I think that's the gap. Yeah, the gap I think is Captain Marvel. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry.
It's Captain Marvel.
Because they announced it in October. Yeah, the Gap movie was Captain Marvel.
Which I think they already found the actress to play her too.
I think it's the chick who's playing Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. Yep. But all right, so 2015 is upon us, and I think it's going to be an interesting year. What are you guys looking forward to this year? Anything particular you want to look forward to? Anything you guys want to avoid like the plague?
Oh,
Anything
gosh.
piss you off that's coming up?
Oh, boy. Anything to really pee me off this year. Another movie directed by or written by the lady who writes Twilight, Hungry Games.
Stephanie
and everything.
Myers.
Any more
Stephanie
movies
Myers.
written by her, I'm done. I just watched that movie, Divergence. I don't know if that one was written by her or not.
No, it
has
wasn't.
nothing to do with Divergent.
No. But Divergence, I did see Divergence. How did you like that?
I
like
fell asleep the first 30 minutes when she became what was it when she found out what type of faction she should be part of, and they're all running around, and I'm thinking,
Yeah,
so
she
where
became
Dauntless,
It's
sorry,
stupid.
a Dauntless.
Dauntless.
And then I
Dauntless, yeah.
said, so where's the sing-along that I am very much anticipating High School Musical somewhere here to turn into? And the story just plummeted to nothing. I'm saying, nothing in this movie is important. The main character's not important. The story doesn't feel important. Everybody in this movie doesn't feel important for anything.
I'll be honest with you. I actually got the opposite effect. I thought it was actually pretty good. I was surprised. I thought going into it, here's my expectation. I thought the movie was going to be another Twilight. That's what I thought.
it's actually
But it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I got to be honest.
of the teenage post-apocalyptic dramas. That's a thing now.
Yeah.
It's probably the better one. I mean, outside of Hunger Games, it's probably the only other one that's somewhat decent.
Yeah.
Because Mortal Instruments failed miserably, which that one
Oh, yeah.
bad.
Which they were hinging on that being the next like big Twilight,
Yeah,
and
Vampire Academy flopped.
flopped like a son of a
big
bitch.
time.
Yeah. It was a big turd. Big
Percy
giant
Jackson. Well, Percy Jackson was supposed to be the next Harry Potter, and that didn't work out.
Nope.
But what are you looking forward to? Me, Chris, what are you looking least forward to this year?
Least forward to?
Anything, or just like I got a bunch of shit you look forward to? You don't want to think about the bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I'm looking. For. I'll start with what I'm looking forward to real quick. Like Taken 3. Taken 3 is coming out right now.
I love that that preview. Why do
like
you keep taking my shit?
Everybody's taking my shit. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. And there's a lot of
taking my shit.
there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to. A lot of things I'm not looking forward to. To be honest, I hate to say this, but no, I don't hate to say this. Mm-hmm. I'm not looking forward to the SpongeBob movie because I know my son is gonna want to see it. There's a part of me that wants to see it, but I'm afraid it's gonna end up just pissing me off and being
really trashed out.
Is this going to be CG?
It's part CG, part real life.
Part real life.
What?
Now,
didn't they do that one?
Antonio Banderas plays the bad guy. He's a pirate that stole the recipe to for the Krabby Patty.
No, he didn't.
He stole the recipe of the Krabby Patty and tries to sell it as his own thing. And basically,
SpongeBob is still a thing.
Yeah, apparently. Now, go ahead.
And it still will be.
And it's in February, so it's not right around the corner. Another movie right around the corner I'm not looking forward to. I don't care what anybody says. Jupiter Ascending. I have no interest in seeing it, even though it looks good. With Mila Kunis as the princess.
Isn't that the Wachowski brothers?
Yeah, correct. That is correct. The Wachowski brothers.
They haven't made a good movie since The Matrix.
Yeah, this they got 50 Shades of Grey.
Correction. I actually like Speed Racer. Fuck all you haters. Speed Racer is awesome.
Another movie I'm not looking forward to is Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
Well, are you serious?
I'm
They're
dead
making
serious.
a second movie?
It comes out in February. Yeah,
what in Zeus's butt?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I have to show this picture real quick.
Yeah.
You do know one of the Wachowskis aren't brothers anymore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for the fans. This is what Lana, formerly Larry Wachowski, looks like. And what's funny is if you look at this picture, the look on her brother's face is like, what the fuck are you? It is. Here, let me send you guys a picture real quick.
While you're doing that, I also wanted to bring up a movie I'm actually looking forward to. Have you guys seen the preview for Home? That Pixar movie? It's a Pixar.
Oh,
yes, that looks interesting.
It's
yes.
the alien. Yeah, the alien. Yeah.
It looks pretty interesting.
I think it's going to be a good kids movie for sure.
Do you guys look at that picture?
I don't see any link here. Where'd you put the picture at?
I sent it in.
Hey, you know what else they made for you, Matt? They made a sequel to Paul Blart 2, Mall Cop 2. I mean,
fuck you.
They made a sequel to it.
I cannot believe that, man.
Yeah,
no.
it comes out.
There, guys, I sent them
April.
both here. There.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, it comes out in April.
Oh, dang.
Nice picture. Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the look on his face is like, what the hell is this?
Wow.
Yeah, Yeah, Insidious Chapter 3. I don't know if you guys followed the Insidious movies, because
we'll talk about movies next week.
Yeah, we'll probably get into that. But basically, I'm just looking forward to a lot of the movies. Some of them that I'm like, why the hell did they make a sequel to this? Which we'll talk about that next week. But yeah, it's crazy. They actually made another Transporter movie, but it doesn't have Jason Statham in it.
That might be good, actually. Oh, movies to look forward to next year with cast change. The new Mad Max movie comes out next year.
New Mad Max,
which
that's
looks amazing.
I think it's called Max, right?
No, Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, never mind. And then Terminator. That was the other movie we didn't mention, Terminator. But we'll go into more on that next.
Genesis.
Yeah.
Or Genesis with the weird writing.
And then Pan, that prequel to Peter Pan that's got Hugh Jackman.
Doesn't have Christopher Walken.
Anybody watch that? Yeah, I saw part of it. It was
Was it as bad as it looked?
It was really fucking bad. I turned it off after a few minutes, but
did it destroy my theory that Walken can make anything entertaining?
I'm actually kind of looking forward to us talking about movies, because there's a lot of like Goosebumps. My son is looking forward to that. I introduced him to the books, like I gave him the original books. I have 120. I found all my Goosebump books in the attic, and I didn't realize I had like 120 of them. Like I had all the original old ones. I had some of the ones that came out like when I was in middle school. Even though my reading level was way above that, I still bought them because they were, I just liked them.
I'm just saying, a blast from the past, man. I remember back then the show obviously based from the books and such. I remember that show being a little creepy for the level of quality of for the amount of budget they had.
Sequel series on Hub. What is it? R.L. Stein's Haunting. Not Haunting Hour.
The Haunting Hour, yeah, Haunting Hour. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a sequel thing, but anyway. But yeah, we'll talk more about the movies. And there's a lot of sequels, a lot of surprise sequels coming out. There's a couple of remakes, like they remade Hitman, which I'm not looking forward to that because I liked the Hitman movie that came out.
I think the first. I think the first original was pretty cool. I digged it. I liked it.
Yeah, it's just called Agent 47, so people are going to be confused what the hell that's about.
Yeah. They're not even going to know what it is really, and I think it's going to flop big time. But,
Star Wars, of course.
Yeah,
Avengers.
That's a definite.
That's about it. Hobbit's done, sadly.
Hopefully a preview or two for Pacific Rim 2, maybe. Hopefully, because that was confirmed.
Pacific Rim or Gojira 2 in June. E3 and Comic-Con I'm really, really, really looking forward to this year, especially with Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
And Arkham Knight will be out, I think.
Out of curiosity, guys, let me throw this one out here. This is one thing I think we have all not even mentioned barely anything, even last year in our previous shows. Mm-hmm. What's gone on with the Steam box? I mean, for such a thing that grabbed a lot of for something.
I know somebody that has one. I know
one or two people that do too as well, but just not with the controller because they had to get.
It's all a bunch of Steam.
you know Derek Jansen, right? You know Dustin's
Yeah, but
brother,
he's a
the
game
one.
developer.
Well, he got it because he develops games and he has an independent game on Steam and Greenworks Workshop. But besides that, he was given one, and I've asked him like, what does he think about it? And he said his words were basically like this: there's only certain games that are great, and there's certain benefits to it, but as a whole, it's not really worth buying because it's just you might as well just get it on your computer. You get the Steam, and you know
Steam
most
with
of
an
the
Xbox
games.
360 controller. Boom, there you
That's
go.
pretty much what it is. Yeah, it's Steam with an Xbox 360.
Because it was kind of like, they were waving their schlamanka all around saying, "Oh yeah, we got
Steam's been pushing this initiative for the past 10 years.
What?
10 years at least. Yeah.
And it finally gained steam. But the thing is, I think they're a little too late to the game because the new consoles are PCs. And the Xbox One and the PS4 are PC based. Nintendo's new console, which supposedly they're developing, is probably going to be x86 based, possibly.
Probably.
AMD said.
That's what I'm sort of hearing too, and they're probably even saying even more better
We'll
hardware
talk
than we
about
got
that
now.
in the coming weeks. We're going to talk about Nintendo's new console. But, anyways, Mario, where can they find you on the interwebs?
Same place as always on Facebook. And movie recommendation of this week for you guys to watch, or anybody to watch, Video Games the Movie. Very good educational. If you're young and you sort of don't like the fact that people either make fun of you, hey, tell your parents to watch it. It'll be very educational for them to kind of know why their son or daughter likes this stuff.
Chris, where can they find you other than in Minnesota?
Minnesota, yeah. Gonna go out and
he's got to wear a freaking fuzzy hat in the middle of and we're in Florida.
Oh yeah, man, it's comfy. Okay, makes me feel good. It made me special. So let's see. I guess you can guys find me usually on Facebook as well as 4TWnetwork.com, and soon I'm gonna probably. I got to create a new website because I was trying to think of a clever URL, but all it's really gonna have is just some of my writings and maybe daily vlogs, other shit like that. But and look forward to that. By the way, before I mention my recommendation, I am gonna start doing vlogs, and it's gonna be Cartman in real life is gonna be the name of it, and it's just gonna be me being me, maybe a little bit too much me, and. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that. And that'll be on 4TW Network. So, and my recommendation is actually talk about a series if you haven't actually watched it when it was out, Lost.
Whoa.
Holy shit. I'm actually on the last season now. I'll be honest, the last season I think was the one where, didn't like J.J. Abrams...
Don't talk about it!
I'm just asking a question here, not spoiling nothing. Didn't he get to a certain season and that was supposed to be the end? And then because of popular demand, like it was season 3. That's right. You could tell that. What's funny is when you watch and go from season 3 to 4, you could tell that happened. And 6 is really whoa, what the fuck. Anyway,
you're going to stay on that mindset all the way to the very end.
And
I'm halfway through season 6, and every episode gets weirder and weirder. So I don't know.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can find me on AdmiralJoker.com and, of course, 4TWNetwork.com and on Twitter at AdmiralJoker and on Facebook at Matthew Maciejewski, or M. Maciejewski, rather. Also, be sure to join in my crusade against the almighty Walmart, for they have stolen money from me and have not paid me back.
No way.
There's pending. By the way, can I tell you something about Walmart? They're actually fucking me over right now too. Long story short, okay.
They fuck you at the Walmart.
I ordered, I ordered amiibos. Right, I ordered 2 amiibos. They split the order because one comes out later than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well. In between all of the, getting the the Zelda one and the Luigi one was on its way. In between there, the card I used was a temporary card. I ended up getting a new one in the mail and I activated it. Well, for whatever reason, the charge for both amiibos they kept it pending for like almost a week, and then as soon as I changed card numbers, I guess they tried to run it again, and then they sent me an email saying that I need to correct my payment info. Well, I corrected my payment info, and basically here's where I am at now. They charged me for, the amount was like $38 for both. And they charged another $39 on top of that, but that's pending. So it's like pending and holding on to, and it's been there for like a week and a half
Go to
now.
your bank.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Well, it's Purpose Card. It's like NetSpend. So they're a bitch.
That's why you have a real bank.
I have a real bank, but I didn't use that bank card, motherfucker, so don't get on to me. But anyway, yeah. So basically, I'm waiting for douchebag Walmart to release the funds back so I can get that almost
it releases
$40
itself
back.
after about 2 weeks.
Yeah, it takes about 2 weeks is what they say. But, it just pisses me off, like Walmart. What the fuck is their problem?
Just so you know, I had my account hacked, something I used only once for the purpose. Never even used the card on it. For the only purpose of from Black Friday bullshit, where that item guarantee bullshit.
Yeah.
And a year later, someone hacked my account and bought a T-Mobile card for $100. I called 20 minutes later, canceled the order, told them what happened. They were supposed to refund me, and they told me last week I have to go to my bank and file a fraud report. So that way they can keep the money, and my bank will. My bank did refund me, but the fact of the matter is,
Matt. I was sitting in by the way, I was sitting in his living room when they found this out.
Yep.
And this was like 3 weeks ago, dude.
Yep.
So you're telling me, oh my God, for 3 weeks. And what did your bank say? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, my bank refunded me, but it's the fact of the matter that Walmart's keeping money that they gotten through ill-gotten means. So Walmart endorses fraud. Hashtag Walmart endorses fraud. Anyways, back on topic. My recommendation of the week. Hang on.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh God, what is it? Let me guess. Buy a projector, get a big
I
screen.
can actually walk back there. It's actually kind of scary. Ranma 1/2 on Blu-ray.
Yes.
What is it? Some fucking anime shit?
If you're a fan of Ranma 1/2,
Yep.
Those that know me, I truly am.
I have my wall scroll right next to me.
I highly recommend you pick this up. Comes with this really cool little booklet. Actually has the first couple chapters of the manga. Man, this thing's stiff.
It's all season 1, right? And it's not the whole spiel, right?
Yeah,
Not
it's season 1. They're coming out in 7 sets. They're not doing them in seasons. They're in sets now.
Okay, that's
so
fine.
like comes this really cool little collector's box with Panda Genma and female type Ranma on it.
You and my best man Alan, you guys should be talking about that show because he will talk up a storm with you.
John's the same way. He actually is the one who got me hooked on this thing.
Intricate detail
Very
about
cool.
that show.
$40 on Amazon. It actually has. It is 1080p. It is not in 4:3. It isn't the bullshit Dragon Ball Z where it's in 16:9.
You suck. Anyway.
Well, by the way, I don't blame Funimation for that. That's all fucking Toy Animation's fault. They
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It is 4:3. It is very nice. It is impeccable. Much better than the DVD sets I have on my shelf over here. I do recommend you get it. The actual subtitles are changed. They actually include the unsubbed or unchanged openings, so they do actually have the Japanese openings.
Sweet.
Which is cool, not that hard yellow blotty text covering all the cool animation in the openings. Which I
That's cool.
And the title cards are the original Japanese title cards, just with text subtitles.
Sweet.
But the dub still sucks.
Of course,
really
it probably still have used the last instance. Wow, that thing was dubbed like eons ago.
Carla wants to watch, and we've been watching the dub version, so I've been suffering through it. Actually, the only dub voice that's terrible is male Ranma because it's a woman and it sounds more effeminate than the female Ranma.
You're right. you're absolutely right on that one.
No.
You know, it would be a good show to see on Blu-ray finally come out. An anime to be on Blu-ray finally at some point. Kenshin, Lord Rurouni Kenshin.
Maybe.
That'd be a nice one to see.
Right. Why not? They got Sailor Moon on Blu-ray.
But yes,
I do recommend Ranma 1/2 on Blu-ray. Go buy it if you like. If you haven't seen it, Watch it. Ranma
Same
is
thing
awesome.
Same thing with Cowboy Bebop on Blu-ray. I've heard.
Yes,
that
and Cowboy
awesome.
Bebop's on Blu-ray too.
Cowboy
now, so.
Bebop. Yeah, that's the only anime that like that's one of my favorites.
That's because
Out of curiosity-
Probably my only favorite.
Curiosity with you guys. I know not to close it like this, but did anyone? I found some really odd correlation with the first like 3 episodes of Firefly and a lot of episodes of Cowboy Bebop.
No,
but yet I can't exactly
Cowboy
find any-
Bebop. Firefly is Outlaw Star.
Star, yeah.
You know what? I can agree with that even more.
Firefly is Outlaw Star.
Star.
Right.
Gene Starwind.
It very much is. If you watch it, they got
That
a
was-
woman in a box.
Uh-huh.
It's Outlaw Star.
It's definitely that's definitely a little gemstone people don't talk about too much. Is that show? That was a good show too.
Outlaw Star or Firefly? Because trust me, people will talk their ear off about fucking Firefly.
Oh, of course. I'm just talking about Star.
Yeah, trust me. There's no lack of Fireflies on the internet.
No, I know
Not
that
at all.
part. Just I'm a Star.
All right, you gentlemen, have a good night.
All right.
Take it easy, guys.
Later.
All right. Take it easy, bro. Take it, guys.
And we are out.
And now the